This short video tutorial will show you how to enter a new birth record into Intrepid Astrology Software's birth record database. So to begin here, you simply need to select Birth New from any of the inner or outer or middle buttons here that would appear if there were two wheels selected instead of just one as there are now. So on the inner wheel, I can click Birth New, and then this begins the wizard that will allow me to easily enter all of the birth data, including place, time, and current location. And this wizard was designed specifically to allow you to have your hands right at the keyboard. You don't really need to use the mouse if you know the data that you're entering. So for example, let's make up a fictitious person here, John Smith. And under comments, we can add something like referred by Mary. And to click a favorite level, these 27 levels of favorites allows you to create your own way of organizing your birth records or your saved charts, essentially. Okay? And we can click or hit enter on the keyboard, okay? And then here's where we select the place. You can see at the bottom of your screen that United States is already pre-selected for us. So let's say John Smith was in fact born in the United States. I just hit enter on the keyboard. And then let's say we want to put him being born in the state of Florida. So I'd start typing FLO, and you can see it immediately pops up. Then we hit enter. And let's say we want to put him living in I don't know, Sarasota. Okay, so Sarasota. As I type it, it shows up on the screen and it does a pre-search for me. And again, I hit enter on the keyboard. Now I enter his date. And each time one of these fields is entered, the cursor immediately jumps to the next field so you don't have to go somewhere to click in, and that's very handy. Let's say he was born on summer solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere. So let's say June 21st, 1960. And he was born at 14 and 38 seconds p.m. You can see OK is pre-selected for me, so I just hit enter on the keyboard again. And now, unique to Intrepid, you can actually also select where he's currently living, not just having to recreate a transit chart every time you want to call up John's birth chart. So we click different, and it brings me back to the wizard, this time for his current location. United States, let's say John is now living in the state of New York. And he's living in, let's say, Brooklyn. There, Brooklyn. Okay? And you can see that once I've done that, it automatically saves all the data that I just put in into the birth records database, and it pops up this by wheel with John Smith's birth record in the middle, or in the inner, and his current location on the outer. Okay? That's very handy. Now let's say I found out later that I made a mistake in the data entry and I want to go back and edit it. Just as easy. I go to inner, or I can even go to outer and click on birth old now. Birth old just means what's already saved. And I go down here to John Smith. You can see I highlighted it. And on the left-hand side here, there's an edit button. When I click edit, I might say, oh, I did make an error in his time. I wanted him to be actually born in the AM, not the PM. So I've changed that, and I click OK. And that corrects my database with his proper information. And then when that's done, I go down here to execute. And this is a very easy way to enter in birth data where you can select previous records you've entered with birth old, current new data, birth new, either from the inner button, which is the inner wheel, the outer button, the outer wheel, or now the middle button. You can also do birth old and birth new also here. So thanks for watching this short tutorial. Please check out the other tutorials.